This is the human side of the story. Neil, you've known Sam Rosen since the late 70s, early 80s, and this is a friendship that has just gotten better with time.
You know, I think I first met Sam in the New York Rangers press room when I was doing scouting for the Islanders. So it would have been 1980 when I started that. And everybody was friendly to everybody in there. The stringers, meaning the guys that strung radio information back to the radio stations, the writers, John Gentile, who ran the bar at the John Halligan and his wife, and everybody was friends. And Sam was one of the group, and Sam was an aspiring broadcaster. And we were close enough that about 5 or 6 of us, Jay Arbor, Al's son, myself, Rich Torrey, I believe, Bill Torrey's son, certainly Howie Rose, other names that you'd know, started a off-ice hockey league, OIHL. So it was Office Hockey League and Off-Ice Hockey League. And we had a draft in the summer, and you draft players and on goal scoring, just goal scoring. You had to draft X number of forwards and also a few defensemen. And then we had rules on trades and all that kind of stuff. And Sam was in there for years with us, and we had a lot of fun with it. He was just one of the guys. He was just one of us. And then, you know, as we know, he got the job in 1984 to be the full-time broadcaster. And I had already left to go then to Detroit. I was with the Red Wings by then. I hadn't literally left because I still lived in the New York area. But I've always considered Sam like a friend, like not necessarily a broadcaster, although I admire everything about his broadcasting and that. But I just considered him a buddy. Like all of us, we were all trying to hone our craft, whatever area we were in.
And I think one thing that people do not know about Sam is he wasn't even born in the United States.
No, born in Ulm, Germany, ULM, Germany, and born, his name when he was born was Samuel Rosenblum, BLUM at the end of Rosen. And he actually dropped that part of his name just to shorten his name up. And that he said that was at a time when radio guys all did that. They changed their name, they shortened it up. And it's interesting. He was born in Germany, moved to the United States at 2 years old with his parents. And thus here came the 2-year-old broadcaster that we didn't know would be there. He was a great baseball player. You know, when he played, he was captain of his baseball teams in college. So he was a player of note. And he mentioned off camera that, you know, rather than try to be a minor league player and make his way up, they just thought, you know what, it's better to just stay as a college player. And when college is over, baseball's over.
One of the other things that we talked about off camera with Sam was his call at the end of Game 7 in 1994. And there were 2 icings in the final minute, the last one coming with 1.6 seconds left, and whether he had actually thought about what he was going to say when that clock hit 000.
But the thing that's really interesting that I never knew until we talked to him about it was that he said the problem was you're waiting for these 2 icing calls and the puck to be dropped and for them to win it. And so when the buzzer did finally go, he says his first words were, "No more waiting."
Yep. The waiting is over.
The waiting is over. You know, and he really, because of all the waiting to get to the buzzer. And that I found that really interesting. And of course, his call of that lives on in infamy. It was great. It was a great call, and no more curses, because, you know, everybody talked for all those years about there was a curse. Was it because they burned their mortgage in the Stanley Cup and all this kind of stuff that went on? And the whole 1940 chant and all the rest of it. So, no, Sam's call was great. And, you know, the thing that really wowed me was him saying that there can be no greater moment for a broadcaster than to be at Madison Square Garden, the home arena of the team that you've been broadcasting for, in Game 7, and have them win the championship, and you get to call that after all those years. He said there couldn't be a bigger thing to do, and that championship would live on forever as bigger than any that anyone could ever have. So I found that really something, because I see it from my perspective. I don't always get to understand it from other people's perspective.
And that's something that a lot of local broadcasters today will never have that opportunity, except at least on the TV end, because the networks take over after the first round.
Right. And even, and when you think about it, even, I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of hockey play-by-play men, let alone all the other sports. And some of them never come close to being able to call a championship game, even if there's not major networks coming in, even if they would get to do the game had it gone all the way. They just are never with a team good enough to win a championship. And so they never really get there. And, they're dying to get there too, because they want to be part of the championship in the part that they play in the whole production.
Thanks for joining us on the NHL Wraparound podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all the NHL action.